Hello ATF team, Dr. J here, coming to you for another ATF breakout, moving into week 4 of your FFP. If you've looked it over at all, you've noticed that again, it looks like a lot of the same, but we're just really trying to focus on that mobility, and you're going to see this throughout your entire time with the Academy to Function. That mobility is so important. It's an outside in, inside out type of methodology. If you don't have the mobility, we're not going to be able to get the stability and the strength and the dynamic movement that we need. And then again, looking at your screenings, this was an area where we had a lot of challenge, and so we're just going to have to continue to focus on this. And even once we've reestablished it, we've got to manage it. So don't feel like it's overly redundant, even though it would appear that way. It's just something that we really need to focus on, and so it's really important to us to reestablish that. And it's going to take us a while to reestablish that. So you're going to see it over and over and over again. But however, what you should see here, we are in week 4 of cycle 1. We're about to make a transition over into cycle 2 as part of our annual plan in that 52-week pilot program. So you're going to start to see some more transition into some stability. Well, the last couple weeks we've started some draw-in maneuvers, which is extremely important. That's that basic foundational exercise that we want you to, or maneuver that we want you to be able to do to control the lumbopelvic hip complex, or in other words, how can we control the hips and the low back, because that's the key. That's where we're really training the transverse abdominis, which is an internal abdominal musculature, and then the multifidus, which is kind of like a braided rope that's going to stabilize the length of the spinal column. So those two muscles are extremely important in that draw-in maneuver. So we've already had you doing some tin mans and marchers where we've incorporated the upper extremity and the lower extremity into it. But again, we really talked to you about focusing on that draw-in maneuver and pushing that back down into the spine. And by doing that in this lying position, face up, what we're doing is we're taking gravity out of the picture, and we're really allowing you to focus on that development of the core stability. And that's what you're going to see right here in week 4, and as we move into the second cycle, week 5, and so on, you're going to see this increased focus on the core and that draw-in maneuver. Specifically, what you're going to start seeing today is the addition of the dead bug exercises, and this is an incorporation of the extremities in alternating rhythmic patterns. So we kind of get this flexion, extension, or forward movement, downward movement, back and forth with both the legs, opposite arm to opposite leg, which is a much more functional pattern. And learning to stabilize that low back and hips while you execute these movements. Other things you may see that's just a minor variation is we're moving into zone 2, or there's a change in your cardio. Again, this isn't an optional component, but we strongly suggest that you start some cardio. It's pretty light. It's only 15 to 30 minutes. If you could do more, that's even better. But again, this complements the program real well for those of you, again, that we've been really focusing on that inhibition or working on those trigger points with the stick roll and the ball roll. Again, you're probably going to have an increased soreness with that as we break down those tissues, and again, to enhance that blood flow, to enhance that lymphatic flow. The cardio is just an excellent component or complement to what we're doing with the stick and ball to break up those trigger points. So please take advantage of those. Again, optional, but it's there, and it's really beneficial to the overall program. So we hope that you enjoy this week. And once again, if you ever have any questions, you can always contact us at academytofunction@gmail.com. We'll do our best to answer your questions, and we can always hit it on the next week on our ATF breakout. Remember, the Academy of Function is here to help you function better in your world.